So, yesterday we spoke about putting some boundaries down, and if you were in a toxic or neglectful or abusive relationship with someone, chances are you were in a toxic, abusive, or neglectful relationship with a parent. It's just chances are, right? So, today we're going to talk about reparenting yourself, because a lot of the time we make decisions based on what we learn from our parents, either consciously or subconsciously. So, we're going to take a look at reparenting ourselves starting in a second. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the one they call Peachy by, and you are most welcome to join me here. Now, I can't tell you how important it is to understand what role your parents play in the way that you make decisions today. And I get a lot of people understand that, but you really sometimes need to dig down really deep to think about the impact that your parents had on raising you, or when you pick your own partners, or when you pick your own friends. And when you come from a toxic home or an abusive home, you're going to need to think about what it means to be a parent. You need to identify the type of parent that you wanted or thought was healthy growing up. And then you've got to implement that for yourself. So I've got a couple of points, and from the 5 points that I got, the first one is think about what it means to be a parent. So think about the kind of parent that you want to have, and you're going to need to employ those tactics, and you're going to need to employ that treatment of yourself. So what does that mean? My second point is it means give yourself the love and affection that you were denied as a kid. In other words, treat yourself the way you treat others, because a lot of the time when you come out of these toxic abusive homes, you are taught that your self-care means absolutely nothing, and you need to prioritize someone else's care. So you may be a people pleaser, and what that means is that you are putting aside your wants and needs to meet the wants and needs of other people almost all the time. And so that's a clear trait that you come from an abusive home or a toxic home, because it's a learned trait of sacrificing your needs for someone else's all the time. Like all the time or majority of the time. So you need to treat yourself the way that you treat others, right? Then my next point is that you need to discipline yourself with love, because that's what parents do. We discipline our children. Sometimes they get really angry with us for the discipline, but we know that discipline is necessary. You need to have discipline if you want to survive in this world. So you have to discipline yourself, and a lot of the time that comes in the form of your self-care. You need to discipline yourself by setting those boundaries and telling people, no, I will not attend your event because I am busy taking care of myself. I am prioritizing me time, and that is a discipline. You are disciplining yourself. And sometimes you need to tell yourself not to make certain decisions that you know are going to be bad for yourself, but you need to do it with love. Don't be too hard or too harsh on yourself. Don't beat yourself up more than you probably already do, because that's also a side effect of coming out of a toxic relationship. But discipline yourself in a loving way, understanding the consequences of your actions, and try to set up boundaries for yourself to not make the same bad decisions that affect you negatively again. My next point is to encourage your own growth. When you have a child, you encourage your child's growth. You want your kid to go to the best schools. You want your kid to have good friends. You want your kid to have the best opportunities, right? So you got to do that for yourself. If you're parenting yourself, you have to give yourself the best shot at your life. You've got to do things that make you happy. You've got to do things that are going to improve yourself, not just for making your kid's life better if you have a kid, or helping your family, but you've got to make decisions that improve your life, because as you parent yourself, you've got to open up the doorway for making decisions that promote your own growth, because that's something that people don't actually do. I see lots of people stay in the same jobs, in the same career, in the same stuff, and they're so unhappy for very long periods of time. Yet in 4 years' time, you could have had a degree. In 6 months' time, you could have been in a different department, or you could have changed to do something that would have made you happier. So encourage your own growth, build yourself up to keep moving forward, right? Then my last point is reward yourself when you accomplish something. If you have a kid, most of the time, if your kid has, for example, your kid does well at school, you say, okay, cool, end of term, I'm going to buy you something big. How often do you do that when you work hard? How often do you say to yourself, okay, you know what, you have worked so hard, and so you deserve a break. You deserve something nice. You deserve this thing that you've been waiting for, hoping for, asking for like 3 years, 4 years. How often do you treat yourself as well as you treat other people? How often do you reward yourself for the things that you have done? Because chances are you're doing an incredible job, considering the homes that a lot of people come out of, where there's a lot of abuse, there's a lot of toxicity. Being able to keep your head on straight in a meeting after having an awful fight with a spouse or with a parent, that's something noteworthy, because your mental health is important. Reward yourself. Give yourself a break. If that's your reward, give yourself a break. Take yourself on a holiday. Do something nice for yourself, because you do good things. You do good work. You work hard. And life is not easy. So reward yourself, because these are all things that parents do. So again, quick rundown of my 5 points to be your own parent. Think about what it means to be a parent. Give yourself the love and affection that was denied to you. Discipline yourself with love. Encourage your own growth, and reward yourself when you accomplish something. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you came out of a toxic household, abusive household while growing up, I'm sorry that was your experience, but you are strong. You are so strong, because you're here in this moment and you are building yourself up, which is in and of itself an accomplishment. So give yourself a pat on the back. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an awesome evening further. And please take care of yourself, because you absolutely deserve to take care of yourself. Cheers.
Unless otherwise indicated, all the following scripture quotations are taken from the Holy Bible, New Living Translation, with copyright by Tyndale Foundation, used by permission of Tyndale House Publishers, all rights reserved. 그대 잠깐 눈을 붙일 때 나는 마음에 물을 붙여요. 비밀의 나만의 초콜릿. 그대 차가운 몸을 녹일 때 나는 초콜릿